Secrets were revealed, questions were answered, plans were unfurled, and by the time the dust settled, even secret identities seemed to be changing hands. Now, we're here to unpack it all. This is the ending of Watchmen Season 1 Explained. Though Angela Abar was the clear main character for much of the series, at least in Tulsa, Watchmen also featured two other key law enforcement officers whose lives were forever tied to the events of the original comic. In the HBO series, we meet an older version of Laurie Blake, the second Silk Spectre and Dr. Manhattan's ex-girlfriend, and Looking Glass, a Tulsa cop who happened to be near Ground Zero on the day Adrian Veidt unleashed his alien creature to save humanity. As the season ends, both Laurie and LG find themselves in the same place, with the same agenda: arrest Adrian Veidt for his genocidal crimes, and keep pushing their investigation as high as it needs to go, in spite of Veidt's insistence otherwise.
Because the world will end.
Yeah. People keep saying that, but it never seems to happen.
So what happens to them next? Well, it's easy to see them teaming up on the future of the Veidt investigation and following it all the way through. By the time it's all over, Looking Glass might even join the FBI, and Laurie might finally be able to move on from the last shreds of her superhero past. Watchmen the comic famously reached its climax with the reveal that Adrian Veidt was behind the death of the comedian, and that it was part of his own massive scheme to save humanity by uniting the world behind a common alien enemy. To do that, he teleported a giant squid creature into the heart of New York City, killing 3 million people. Veidt's bounced around a lot since '85. He spent a lot of time holed up in his Arctic sanctuary Karnak, then was trapped on Europa for several years, and upon finally returning to Earth, he summoned all of his ego and intellect and stopped Lady Trieu from taking Dr. Manhattan's power. With that in mind, he was convinced he'd be worshipped as the world's smartest man yet again. Laurie Blake and Looking Glass had other ideas, though, and armed with the video Veidt made for newly elected President Robert Redford in 1985, they decided to arrest him for the deaths of the 3 million in New York, and for the conspiracy that had continued since, via intermittent squid rain engineered by Veidt. After a strange trial on Europa, Veidt is presumably headed for another trial on Earth. But this time, he's likely to have plenty of defenders who hail him as a visionary who did what he had to in order to save the world. For all we know, Veidt won't even survive long enough for a trial, but that might be what Laurie and LG are angling for. As for Redford, who became a co-conspirator in Veidt's plan when he took office, Blake makes it clear that it would be fine with her to bring the president up on charges as well, which means the United States government is about to be rocked by a lot of upheaval. Much of Watchmen's season finale is devoted to explaining exactly what was really going on with the mysterious Lady Trieu, and it turns out there's quite a history to mine. Lady Trieu, the smartest woman in the world, was born to a mother who stole a semen sample from Adrian Veidt's private vault. Trieu inherited Veidt's intellect, ambition, and insatiable ego, and it all led her to believe that she was the only one in the world worthy of holding Dr. Manhattan's power.
If I can take his power, I can fix the world.
As it turns out, Trieu was planning to kill Manhattan all along, and her Millennium Clock housed the device that would have allowed her to do it. Adrian Veidt was able to stop her at the last moment with a rain of frozen squid, but while Lady Trieu is dead, her legacy is not. Bian, the clone of Trieu's own mother who served as her daughter, is still alive, and her massive corporation and its many holdings will go to her. Will Bian learn the right lessons from her mother's hubris? Will she right the wrongs of Trieu, or will she in time adopt the same egotistical outlook on the world? Lady Trieu's plan to take Dr. Manhattan's power for herself nearly worked, in part because she was using the 7th Kavalry plan to also take Dr. Manhattan's power as cover. The Kavalry, an extension of the racist organization known as Cyclops that William Reeves spent nearly all of his adult life fighting, has been scheming for years to incite an overthrow of President Redford, and their fortunes shifted dramatically when they learned Manhattan was back on Earth. Armed with this knowledge and the resources of Joe Keane Jr., they developed their own plan to essentially take over the US government. In the end, their plan failed, and Trieu used her own resources to vaporize all of Cyclops' key leadership, including Joe Keane Sr. The Cyclops is headless, but that doesn't mean it's dead. White supremacy has been shown to have a particularly insidious hold on this world, and it's doubtful that organized versions of it will vanish so quickly. The season finale of Watchmen managed to pack a lot into its runtime, but one thing the episode didn't address was the identity of one of Watchmen's strangest new characters, Lube Man. The character, so named because of his greased, skin-tight silver suit, appeared only once in the series proper and made a very fast but unforgettable exit via a storm drain. Ever since, fans of the show have been wondering who exactly was under all that silver. The season finale didn't tell us, but HBO's canonical supplement to the series, Peteypedia, seems to have spelled it out. The compendium, named for Laurie Blake's FBI subordinate Dale Petey, hinted in previous entries that Petey himself may have adopted the Lube Man identity, and the entries added after the final episode aired all but confirm it. Petey was Lube Man, and he was snooping through the investigation via his secret identity. Angela Abar's life was forever changed by the events of Watchmen's first season. She found out the grandfather she never met was Hooded Justice, and that he was still alive and still working as a vigilante. She found out the truth about her friend and mentor. She had to reveal her husband was secretly Dr. Manhattan, only to lose him hours later. And she had to figure out how to pick up the pieces after John died once and for all. With all this in mind, Watchmen Season 1 approaches its final moments with the promise of a new beginning for Angela. With her children and her grandfather sleeping safely inside, she walks to her swimming pool with a miraculously unbroken egg, swallows it, and remembers something Dr. Manhattan told her.
So, you could put them in this egg, and if I ate it, I could walk on water?
The season stopped short of visually confirming that Manhattan did imbue that last egg with his powers, therefore passing them on to Angela. But according to creator Damon Lindelof, there's no real ambiguity there. There's no reason to think all those things John said were leading nowhere, and after all, Angela was bathed in blue light on the poster for the series. The message is clear. Angela Abar is the new Dr. Manhattan, whether we got to see her walk on water or not. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.